So real quick here at the top, I just want to say this video is sponsored by Western Rise. And if you're interested in getting 15% off some incredible clothing, stick around to the end and I will tell you how you can do that. It's the most wonderful time of the year to talk about Pakt. Now, I love Pakt. They're an incredible brand. Malcolm, the founder, they've worked with Chase Reeves, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Huge shout out to Sarah over at Pakt. Pakt sent me this. I want to say that up top. So I'm very appreciative that I was able to get a sample, squeak in for other channels that was able to get them. And I know I'm a little late to the review game, but huge thank you to Pakt. For those of you who don't know, they just recently released a 15-liter everywhere bag and a 22-liter everywhere bag, or day bag, or backpack, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to use that terminology. And I loved Pakt for their Pakt 1 travel bag and their Pakt duffel, which are two travel-oriented and travel-centered bag. And then they also had a 5-liter sling, which was great, but let's be honest, a sling is not the same as a day bag. And I love Pakt, and I love what they make. And I was a little bit interested, not a little bit, I was very interested to see how these day packs would work and how they would kind of keep on that Pakt tradition of incorporating some of these incredible elements that they're known for. And let me tell you, they did not miss. So without stalling, let's get into it right now. So when it comes to Pakt's products, I'm a big fan of their backpacks, and their travel-oriented bags are great for travel, but needing to take those wonderful pack elements and condense them down into a day pack is what I think a lot of us wanted. So now that they have this 22 and 15-liter version, and that 15-liter pairs really well with their new Pakt travel backpack, the version 2. Full disclaimer, I don't have that. All of my travel for the rest of the year up until January, I already have travel bags for, and I don't really want to get a travel bag if I'm not going to be able to test it and use it accordingly and appropriately. So for now, I'm not using and testing that. We're going to try this out. I also have the 3-liter sling and a couple other things that we're going to talk about when it comes to Pakt, but for this one and this one only, we're going to focus on the 22-liter version. For one, it's made from recycled nylon, which is wonderful. I love the materials on Pakt bags. It's got great hardware. Not to mention, it's got YKK zips. I like Pakt because of the recyclability effort, or the recycle effort that they have. A lot of brands that I love personally do a lot for the environment, and that is super crucial for me. I worked for an environmental company for a really long time before now doing what I do now. So having brands that make sure that their materials are sourced from ethical and recyclable materials, and they're just really well made, and they have that environmental factor on their mind when creating, building, making, designing, and even selecting the shop where it's made is super important. That's why I love Pakt so much. So when it comes to materials and hardware on this bag, you do not have to worry. With the materials and hardware, we always talk about the straps. So with this bag, you have some like tiny straps here on the side that you could definitely use to grab if you wanted to, but primarily what you have is on the top one nice kind of padded, a little minimally padded with some seatbelt material around it, front handle, and then something that we see a lot on bags like this, a very small, just like webbing little hook that you could use to maybe like hook it up on like the back of a door if you're in like the bathroom or something like that. And that is pretty much your grab points. Is like I said, you have some on the side, but once you put your water bottle in on either side, then that strap gets kind of covered. And then as for the bottom, if you're putting this in the overhead bin, you do have one strap that is very close and very tight, but does work if you were going to put this in and need to grab it out from either the front or the back or the top or the bottom, depending on how you orient yourself with front, top, bottom, left, right, north, south. Talk about the straps and the comfort on this bag. Now, I say this a lot, but when it comes to the comfort factor, it's a little subjective because my loadouts tend to be a little bit lighter. And you'll see that with what I have in here. I don't bring a lot for my daily work activity. It's mostly tech stuff and then just some other light accessories. So these straps to me, I am 5'8", 170 pounds. This is what the bag looks like on me. I found this to be pretty comfortable. I like the 22-liter capacity. I think it works really well. You don't have to fill it out. It holds its shape. I think it works really well for whatever frame you're on. And these straps, honestly, I say sometimes like, oh, well, like if you pack it out really heavy, like these straps might be uncomfortable, but I gotta admit, Pakt spared no expense with these straps. These are not only beefy, but they're beefy in a different way, if that makes sense. Like they have the padding and they're very comfortable, but because this top part is only connected by this like little webbing and they're like loose, it feels like they shouldn't be as comfortable as they are, but when you combine it with the sternum strap and you wear this and this back panel, which doesn't seem like it would be that much either, you get for a really comfortable day pack. And I think that has a lot to do with the material consistency on this bag. The materials on the front, they pretty much, except for like zippers and little like accents, they just keep that material all the way around. And I think this material is really, really, really nice. And I really dig this blue color. So overall, when it comes to the comfort factor on this bag, I think it's a solid A+. Your mileage may vary, but just always keep in mind how heavy you're packing out your bag and how heavy that bag looked or might be in the review that you saw. And when you see my gear, I definitely stick towards the lighter side. And speaking of gear and sticking towards the lighter side, let's go through all the nooks, crannies, pockets, and little secrets on this bag that it has. First thing, didn't mention it with the straps, but you do have a luggage pass-through with magnets. Dude, you're gonna see this on this bag, and I'm getting excited. But like the magnets that Pakt incorporates on this bag, just love it so much. But this is a luggage pass-through. So if you're pairing this for a carry-on or a travel bag or whatever that's a roller luggage, you can slap this bad boy on there. But on top of that, you have 2 water bottle pockets with some mesh. Now I like this. You're not gonna get much bigger than what I have. This is a steep wear, which I'm a big fan of. You can also put tripods. You're not gonna get like thick yoga mats or thick big boy water bottles in here, but that's okay. I think these work really well. Like I said, magnets, again, these, when you're not using them, magnet closure. Crazy, love it. So big fan, so big fan. But like I said, those extra straps on the side here, when you put the water bottle or whatever you have in there, these no longer become grabbable. So something just to keep in mind with these water bottle pockets, but external, which some people really don't like when their bag doesn't have an external water bottle pocket. The next pocket you have right here is this flat one. Now this is a really good flat thin pocket for a thin tech pouch. Now when I'm going to work, this is about all I need. Has all the chargers, cables, and dongles that I would need for a day at work. And that's all I really put in this front compartment. It's thin and it's flat, and I didn't almost drop this bag. I just like to stand like this. So this front compartment is nice because it has some built-in dimension, and both of these front compartments don't really eat up anything on the inside of the bag. And that's something that I just like to point out because there are a lot of bags out there where the organization is all really just mixed into one, and whatever you put into one eats up into the other, and it just kind of like chain reacts from there. This, not the case. So this front compartment, great for flat, small, minimal items. Now that pocket above that is where you're gonna get all your organization, your quick access, and even, my favorite thing, a security dump. So this is where all of your organization is going to come in. Starting at the top, you have a spot for like an Apple pen or a regular pen if you're bringing a notebook, which is nice, elastic, works really well. Below that is another magnet pouch, which is great, and that is where I keep my quicker charger items. So my fast charger for all my Apple devices, and then behind that is my AirTag. And then just below that is a little pocket with some mesh, with some elasticity, with the Pakt logo on there. This is great to put something like a wallet in, which is something I'm a big fan of doing. Directly to the left of that is another compartment, no magnet, but smaller and hidden. This is where I've been keeping my AirPod Pros when using this bag in transit. I found that's a really good spot for them. And then you just kind of have a nice little space in the middle to put whatever you want. Now this is typically where like my phone would go, or anything else I have if I'm going through security, or anything else I have in my pockets, or anything you might pick up on the road, or maybe a little snack, maybe a little snack bar, Admiral snack bar, right in there. But on top of that, in the front, very front, you have one final zippered mesh guy with a key clip. Now this is actually where I've been keeping my keys, not something I would typically do, but with that key clip and stuff in there, it is a nice little pocket to have. And that mesh, being able to see through it, is nice. So there's a nice mixture. Now, before we get into the main compartment, I'm gonna jump to the back here where the laptop compartment is. Now, 16-inch laptop compartment off the bottom of the bag, padded, and I love this. I love this right here, and you're gonna see this on the main compartment. I'm gonna show you more there, but this material, this design is why I think I love this bag so much. But I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro, fits in here, no problemo. There is a little mesh guy here, so if you had a little bit of a taller one, you could like tuck it in there. And there is a tablet sleeve. If you have a tablet, you can also do that. Overall, I like the laptop compartment, very easy to get into, and like I said, plenty of protection. So that leaves us with the final and main compartment on this bag. Now, this doesn't have like a full clamshell. It's like a half zip, you know, it only unzips to here, and then it folds down, and you're good. This is nice. Pakt sells some accessories that hook in here for some extra internal organization if you want it, which is why I like it. Me personally, I'm a pouch person. I like to put my pouches. This is a Wandered large tech kit for all like my mobile filmmaking and like just extra gear and knickknacks and stuff that I might be needing when working on edits. And then I just put a hoodie in here because it's getting chilly and you never know like how chilly it's going to be. I'm frying with the heat on in my house right now in this sweater, but outside it's like 20 degrees and snowing. No lie, it's legitimately snowing right now. So I'm gonna sweat for a little bit. But with these, right, like I was saying, we have some pouches that you can get from Pakt and you can put in here to add some organization on the main compartment. Some people, when it comes to the main compartment of day packs specifically, love to have that extra organization, and having the ability to take it, put it in, take it out, or whatever you might want it for with these clips. And yes, it is an extra accessory, and yes, that is extra money, but it does seem like something that would work really well if you want that extra organization in a main compartment. Me personally, I'd rather just throw pouches in here. I'm not a big fan of clipping things inside a bag, especially if I need to unclip them. I don't have patience, and I'm not very good with like gator clips and stuff, so I struggle. But if you're good and fast, and maybe that's something you would want, then definitely something that you can get with this Pakt bag, which is why I think it's pretty great. But as you can see, there's not a lot to it, but it's just a nice little bullet of a day pack. I think it has a very nice amount of organization. That quick access compartment is great, flat stuff on the front, and then you have that nice big compartment in the middle that you can also add some extra stuff to. Nice laptop compartment, and is comfortable, travel on friendly, 22 liters. And if you're like, oh, I like a lot of this, but I wish it was smaller, boom, 15 liter. It's a little different, but you're getting the same thing. I like Pakt. I think they did a really good job with their everyday line. I'm highly impressed with this 22 liter. It is definitely going up there as one of my favorite day packs. I just really enjoy using it. I mean, day packs are something that I'm a big fan of. That was crooked. That's annoying. I love day packs. They're just, I think that travel bags, like once you find a good one, you can just lock it in. But day packs, man, like there's so many different varieties and so many different things you can do with them. And I think Pakt did a really good job of finding their mark in the day bag world. So with all that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concern about the Pakt 22 liter day pack, let me know. I'll do my very best to answer those for you. Thank you guys again so very much for all the love and support. Means the absolute world to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all of that wonderful nonsense. And with all of that being said, I will see you next time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So if you're this far in the video, that means you're here for the 15% off an order of Westernized clothing. If you use discount code ODIE, you can get 15% off your entire order and get my channel a little kickback, which I'm always super appreciative of. Westernized makes some incredible clothing, and they are one of my favorite things to wear, whether I'm going out to eat, going around town, going out to the movies, traveling, or whatever it may be. Their clothes pack super, super light and very compact. They're extremely durable, breathable, and exceptionally comfortable, whether it be their Evolution 2.0 pants, or diversion pants, which are one of my favorite things, or just their cotton blend or merino wool t-shirts, which make for great undershirts, or if you just want to run out to the grocery store and just throw on a very comfortable shirt without having to worry too much about it, Westernized is exactly what you want. Not to mention right now with the winter time, you've got jackets, hoodies, sweaters, all kinds of long sleeve and wonderful items to keep you warm, not to mention Versa hats, beanies, socks, whole 9 yards. I love Westernized. I love Will, who runs that company. So if you're interested in getting 15% off and supporting this channel, head over to Westernized and use discount code ODIE. Thanks again for watching, and see you around.